Okay, so this is going to be my first video tour review ever. Like, ever. In the history of ever. So I'm going to start here with Cyborg, the DC Collectibles New 52 Cyborg. Now, I want you to take a look at this guy. This guy is impressive looking. Like, he's just impressive looking. I mean, you know, just look at the applications, the detail that is involved with this figure. Just look at the back. And I'll get more into detail about the detail, actually, later in the review. But let's take a look at the articulation. So we have your arm that can go 360. It's on sort of like a ratchet, almost, but there's like a peg inside here. And you get 360 motion on that. You get rotating forearm here. No wrist articulation. You get a bend at the elbow, which is not double jointed, but you can get about to there, and that's pretty much it. Same thing with the other side. Same deal. Rotate here. No wrist. The legs can go forward about that much, which, you know, Cyborg's not Spider-Man, so you don't really need that much, you know, give on the upper thigh. He has a single joint knee, no calf swivel, no upper thigh swivel. You get this much back. Like I said, he's not Spider-Man. No waist swivel, and the head can move 360, but it's hindered by his collar here. But it can turn 360, and I don't want to scratch the paint, so. But yeah, that's Cyborg. Like I said before, this figure looks fantastic. It looks great. It looks great on your shelf. It looks great with the other members of the Justice League. But the thing is, that's all it does. It looks good. That's all it does. The articulation is extremely limited, which is disappointing because, you know, I do toy photography and, you know, I want a figure that can give me a lot of dynamic poses. Cyborg, you have to do a lot of manipulation in the photo to make a shot work. And you shouldn't have to work that hard for a figure. That's just my opinion. Like, the companies who make these, Marvel, DC, whatever have you, you know, it's their job to make these toys articulated. Some are more so than others. But like I said, this is a great shelf piece. It looks good on my shelf. The paint apps are fantastic. And I think what happens a lot of times with these I guess you could say they're like late releases now, not so much new. But despite the fact it's new 52. Never mind, I'll continue. But I think what they did was they put quality over functionality, and it looks great, as you can see. Look at the head sculpt. Like, it looks fantastic. Like, it looks great. Like, all of this, just all the paint applications, the red here, the gray, the silver, it looks metallic. He looks like, you know, RoboCop, or like a black RoboCop, or, you know, just but there's only really two base colors on him. I don't know anything, like, I don't really know that much about, like, paint apps, or, you know, matte finish over this, that, and the other. I'm not proficient in that. But I know what I like to see. And like I've said numerous times before in this very video, that, I mean, he looks great. Doesn't really do much as far as like articulation. with a price point of $25, 20, it's over 20 bucks. It's over $25. But the price point of that, oh, I forgot to mention, he does have a upper arm swivel, but it's, once again, it's hindered by this shoulder piece. So pretty much you're paying, you know, for a statue. And they have Cyborg statues. So it's like, you know, it's like pick your poison. Either you buy a Cyborg statue or you buy a Cyborg statue. But this is not the only Cyborg figure there is. This just happens to be the one in my collection. This was the one that was available to me. I don't have a lot of black heroes, and, you know, a part of me feels bad about that. Because, you know, as you can see, I am a black man. And, you know, I think that Cyborg is one of those characters that represents us in a very positive way. Him, T'Challa, Blade. And it's good to have, you know, representation of that in toy form. But if I were to give you a rating on whether or not to pick this guy up, $25 price point, personally, I'd pass. I mean, if you can get him for cheap, I'm talking about maybe $15, maybe $18. You know, on eBay, maybe if you got a friend that's trying to sell them, maybe go to your local comic book shop if you can find them cheap. You know, I would definitely go for it just because, I mean, he looks great. He's a great shelf piece, but it's not worth the price, in my opinion. So, I mean, if you like this video, like, rate, comment, subscribe, and remember, follow the slipstream.